In the cold metal halls of Sector 9, where alien cadets trained for war, one human girl walked quietly through the crowd. Her name was Ava. She didn't speak much. She didn't smile. Most of the time, she just listened, watched, waited. The others laughed at her. "Look at the slow human," said a blue-skinned cadet from the Zernian race. "She blinks slower than my grandma. Her reflexes are from the Stone Age," said another, his eyes glowing with amusement. "Why is she?" Even here, aliens came from all over the galaxy, fast, smart, powerful beings. Sector 9 was a military academy built for the best. No one understood why a human girl had been accepted. Ava didn't answer the insults. She walked to the training room, quiet, calm, but deep inside her, something was building. The trainer's plan commander. Vortak, a tall, thin alien with 4 arms and cold eyes, watched Ava from the upper deck. He tapped his fingers on the railing. "She's weak," he told the other trainers, "but useful. Let the others break her spirit. We'll make them stronger." The trainers agreed. Ava would be placed in the reflex combat class, the most difficult one, the one made to break cadets. It tested speed, timing, and survival. No human had ever passed that class. The first Ava stood at the edge of the class, wearing a simple gray uniform. The others wore colorful combat gear with glowing emblems. They stretched, jumped, and showed off their moves. Ava just stood there. Instructor Riken, a 3-eyed warrior with fast legs and a faster temper, pointed at her. "You human, step forward," he barked. Ava walked calmly. Riken laughed. "Your species is too slow. Your bones are soft. You won't last 1 minute in this program." Ava said nothing. He pointed to the reflex grid, a simulator with fast-moving laser beams, pressure panels, and spinning blades. Cadets had to dodge, jump, duck, and roll at high speed. Failure meant pain, bruises, sometimes broken bones. Survive. "For 30 seconds, Riken said, "and I'll let you stay." The lights dimmed. The grid powered up. Loud clicks echoed. Lasers hummed. The other cadets gathered to watch. Ava stepped in. Beams shot out from the walls. Floor tiles moved fast. Spinning bars came from every side. Everyone expected her to fall instantly. But Ava moved. Not fast, not wild, but smooth. She didn't panic. She didn't freeze. She watched each pattern and moved just in time. Low, quick, quiet. Her breathing steady. 30 seconds passed. Then 60. By now, the cadets stopped laughing. Their eyes followed her every move. Even Riken frowned. At 90 seconds, Ava finally stepped out. No bruises, no injury. Just sweat on her forehead. The room was silent. Behind the glass up in the A control room, a quiet alien technician stared at the monitor. Ava's neural scans showed strange signals. Her brain didn't react like others. It predicted movements. It made decisions before danger appeared. "Her brain isn't slow," the tech whispered. "Different." Commander Vortak leaned. "Closer. Observe her. Quietly. She might be more useful than we thought." The whisper in the dorms that night. The cadets whispered in the dorms. "How did she do that? She's hiding something. She's not normal." Ava sat alone, on her bunk, tying her boots slowly. She didn't respond to the whispers, but her hands moved fast, knotting the laces with sharp precision. The final line: they thought humans were weak. Slow, soft, but Ava was none of those things. She was watching, she was learning. And one day, she would show them all what real reflexes looked like. The next morning, Sector 9's main training arena was louder than usual. News spread fast. The human girl had survived the reflex grid for 90 seconds. That had never happened before. Some cadets were impressed. Most were angry. "She got lucky," said one alien. "Beginner's luck. She'll break in, though." "Real tests," another replied. "Just wait." Baby Ava didn't hear them. Was already in the testing hall, standing in front of something much worse than yesterday's simulator. The death machine. The machine was called Unit Tech 7, but cadets named it the Death Spider. It was a large metal platform with 6 robotic arms, each one moving faster than the eye could see. One arm punched, one kicked, one fired stun rounds, another scanned weak points. The last 2 created random movements to confuse the brain. No one had ever completed the full test. Alien cadets usually gave up in the first minute, most left with burns, cuts, or dislocated shoulders. And now the instructors were going to throw Ava in, a dangerous bet from the high deck. Commander Vortok whispered to Instructor Riken. If she gets hit 3 times, remove her. Riken grinned. She'd get hit 10 times in the first 10 seconds. The alien crowd laughed. Everyone was ready to watch her fail. The arena lights dimmed, the machine powered up. Sparks flew from its limbs. A voice called out, "Ava, step forward. Begin." Inside the storm, Ava stepped onto the platform. The first arm shot forward. Fast as lightning, she leaned back. Missed. The second arm came from the side. She ducked. Miss. Then chaos. Arms moved from every direction. Lasers blinked. Metal spun. Machine was faster than any creature Ava had ever seen. But her face stayed calm. She wasn't just reacting. She was reading the machine. The way it twitched before it struck. The tiny hum before the laser fired. The delay between patterns. She moved between attacks like water flows between rocks. The silence. 60 seconds passed. No. One laughed now. 80 seconds. The instructors leaned forward. 90 seconds. Still. Not a single hit. On the big screen, Ava's heart rate was steady. Her breathing normal. Her eyes focused. The machine tried to switch strategy. It used double attacks, fakes, mirror feints. Ava didn't blink. She was already 1 step ahead. The hits at 105 seconds. The machine got smart. It shot a stun blast toward her left, a fake. Then the real hit came from the right, spinning metal bar. It brushed her arm. 1 hit, the crowd gasped, but Ava didn't. Stop! She spun, jumped, rolled, landed and slapped the emergency shutdown button before the machine could reset. Total time, 112 seconds. Only 1 hit. The aftermath arena was dead silent. Even the cocky Zernian cadets said nothing. Commander. Vortak stood still, arms crossed. Instructor Riken's mouth hung open. That shouldn't be possible. No human had ever gone past 40 seconds. No alien had survived longer than 90. Ava had changed the rules. The mystery grows later that night. In the secret lab above the arena, technicians studied Ava's test recordings. Her neural map showed something strange. She wasn't just reacting. She was predicting. Danger. 0.2 seconds before it happened. Not luck, not chance. It was something inside her. Something even the machines couldn't beat. We need to report this, one technician said. No, said the lead scientist. Not yet. See how far she can go. Alone, in the dark back in her room, Ava stood in front of the mirror. Her arm had a bruise from the single hit. She touched it gently, then smiled for the first time. Not because she had one, but because she knew something now. They weren't faster than her anymore. They just didn't know it yet. After the reflex test, Ava became the most talked about name in Sector 9. But she didn't celebrate. While others whispered and stared, Ava trained harder. She woke up before dawn. She studied combat styles in the dark. She practiced movements. In silence, but someone was watching her. Not just the cadets, not just the trainers. Someone in the shadows. The secret observation room, deep inside the training facility. Under Level 4 security, there was a hidden lab, the Neural Research Wing. Only a few scientists had access. There, behind thick glass and silent computers, they watched Ava's recordings frame by frame. Her test from Unitech 7 was being played on repeat. Dr. Kaloran, tall insectoid scientist with 6 eyes, stood silently in front of the monitor. Her timing isn't just fast, he said. It's impossible. Another scientist, A floating jelly form named Nerun spoke softly. She's not reacting, she's predicting. Prediction is based on logic, Kelleran said. This is different. Her brain is running on something. We can't map yet. They zoomed in on her neural scan. The waves didn't follow normal patterns. Instead, they curved, looped, spiked, as if her brain felt danger before it appeared. And it wasn't just her brain. Her heart rate dropped. Just before attacks, her muscles tightened before movement began. It was like her body knew what was coming. Even before the machine moved, the silent upgrade, meanwhile, of a trained alone. She studied Croxian spear combat, Zernian spin dodges, and even the rare Schalke blink step technique, all alien movement styles no human was supposed to learn. She didn't just copy them, she refined them. She added her own timing, her own rhythm, one that no alien could predict. One night, an off-duty cadet saw her dodging live drone shots with her eyes closed. He told others. The rumors grew. Is she part machine? Did the humans build her? Is she ... evolving? The visit 2 days later, Dr. Kelleran was called to Commander Vortic's office. The commander stared at him with sharp, cold eyes. You've been studying the human girl, he said. Why? Kelleran hesitated. Then he replied, because she doesn't fit the pattern. Commander Vortic leaned forward. Explain. Kelleran showed him the brain scans. The footage. Predictions. No other species in the galaxy shows this behavior, he said. It's like her mind was made for chaos. The more unpredictable the attack, the better she performs. Vortic narrowed his eyes. So, ... she's not slow. No, said Kelleran. She might be the fastest thing we've ever seen. The warning, in the dark corridors of the dormitory, Ava was approached by an alien cadet named Reth, a quiet four-armed trainee who had never mocked her. You should be careful, Reth whispered. They're watching you. Ava looked at him. Calmly. Who? Not just the instructors, he said. The High Command. The ones who study minds. Why? Ava asked. Reth glanced around nervously. Because they fear what they don't understand. Then he walked away. Ava stood there, alone in the corridor, thinking. She wasn't afraid. But now, she knew something bigger was coming. The experiment back in the neural lab. Kelleran ran a secret test. He took battle data from 30 alien soldiers. He combined it into a virtual simulator, a training program that no being had survived. He called it Reflex Hell, and he uploaded it to Ava's practice room. She stepped in, and one told her. No one warned her. She just saw the simulator and stepped in. Lights flashed. Blades spun. Lasers fired from 6 angles. Gravity shifted. Balls moved in real time to confuse her balance. And Ava danced. She moved like lightning. Bending at angles most humans couldn't, she used alien moves with human timing. 10 minutes. Later, she walked out of the simulator. No injuries, no questions. Just calm eyes. And a small smile in the lab. Dr. Kelleran dropped his datapad. This isn't science anymore, he whispered. This is evolution, in real time. Final line, Ava was no longer just a human in a room. It's full of aliens. She had become something else, something new, and now the galaxy was watching. Closely. For days. The alien cadets in Sector 9 whispered one name, Ava, the human girl who beat the reflex grid, the one who survived Unitech 7, the one who trained alone, never spoke of victory. Some feared her, some hated her, but one cadet wanted to fight her. His name was Craig, a powerful Zernian hybrid, half insectoid, half beast, fast, strong, and ruthless. He had broken 3 cadets' arms during friendly matches. Now he wanted Ava, the challenge in the middle of the training courtyard. Craig slammed his 4-fingered fist into the ground. I challenge the human, shouted. The courtyard fell silent. Ava stood near the edge, watching him. She didn't move. In front of all cadets, Craig growled. Reflex duel. No weapons. First strike wins. Instructor Reckon frowned.
Ow.
This isn't protocol. Commander Vortic, watching from above, raised one hand. Let it happen. The crowd backed away. Ava stepped forward. The rules Ava and Craig stood 10 meters apart. No weapons, no armor, just a flat arena floor. First to land a clean hit wins a referee. Drone hovered above, recording everything. The cadets gathered around the arena, whispering, "She's dead. Craig's too fast. She won't last 5 seconds." But Ava didn't look worried. Her feet were still, her arms relaxed, her eyes. The fight begins. The signal beeped. Ding. Craig rushed forward like a machine, his arms spread wide, his right fist swung fast. Aiming for a jaw. His claws were sharp. One hit, and Ava would go down. But she wasn't there anymore. She had already moved. Craig's punch hit the air. He spun, was confused, and swung again. Ava ducked, slid, and tapped his shoulder with her finger. Tapped clean. Hit match over. The silence no. One clapped. No one spoke. Even the referee drone hesitated before announcing, "Winner, Ava." Craig stood frozen, his mouth open. He had never been touched before. Now, he'd been beaten by a human girl in 6 seconds. The shock later that evening. The footage went viral across the Sector 9 internal network. Cadets watched it again and again. Frame by frame, Ava's movement was impossible to track. Her dodge came before Craig's punch even started. The footage was sent to the high command. Some were amazed, others were afraid. The interrogation that night, Ava was called into the Command Center 3. Officers waited. Commander Vortok stood in the shadows. "Where did you learn that move?" one asked. Ava shrugged. "I just moved. You were trained," said another. "No human can react like that." "I wasn't reacting," Ava said. "I was already." Ahead, they stared at her. Vortak finally stepped forward. "You will be watched closely from now on, Ava," he said. "Be careful. Power brings enemies." Ava looked at him and said nothing. She understood. The conversation back in the dorms. Reth, the quiet alien with 4 arms, found Ava sitting alone. "You embarrassed Craig?" he said. He challenged. "Me," she replied. "He's not the last," Reth warned. "Now, they'll want to prove humans are still weak." Ava looked up. "Let them try." The hidden message, meanwhile, in a distant star system, a strange signal was intercepted by a listening post. Encrypted. Short. Urgent. Sector 9 report. Human subject AVA reflexibility exceeds AI tracking. Possible mutation. Immediate study recommended. The message was sent to the Galactic Genetic Council. A file was opened. A new label was added. A code. Project Human. Subject Ava. They would come for her, but they had no idea what she really was. The final line, they thought the fight would humble her. They thought she'd be broken. Instead, she won in 6 seconds. And made them all realize human reflexes were no longer a joke. They were the future. After Ava's victory over Craig, something changed in Sector 9. No one laughed at her anymore. No one called her slow. Even the instructors spoke her name with care, but not everyone admired her. In the dark halls of the command tower, envy and fear began to grow, because when aliens feel threatened, they don't play fair. A quiet meeting inside a cold, metal room with no cameras for senior officers gathered. "She humiliated a Zernian hybrid," said one, his face sharp and lizard-like. "She completed Unitech 7. She learns faster than any." "Known species," said another, Commander Vortak, stood silently at the head of the table. "She is still human," he said. "She can bleed." There was silence. Then a plan was formed. The fake Mission 3 days later. Ava was called to the front office. "A mission has come up," Instructor Riken told her. "You've been selected." Ava raised an eyebrow. "Why me?" Riken smiled. "Because you're fast and you're ready." He handed her a data pad. The mission seemed simple. Rescue a downed drone on a nearby moon called Veltrax 4. No enemies. Just terrain. But Ava's eyes narrowed. "No backup?" she asked. Riken shrugged. "It's just a drone. You'll be in and out in under an hour." Ava didn't trust him, but she nodded anyway. Arrival on Veltrax 4. The transport ship dropped her off at sunset. Veltrax-4 was dry and rocky. The wind howled like a warning. Ava checked the coordinates. No drone. No. Signal nothing. Her heart beat slower, calmer. It was a trap. She pulled out her combat tracker. It blinked red. Multiple life forms approaching. The ambush from the rocks. Metal. Shapes rose. Combat Meeks. Heavy fast. Armed and not part of the academy. 3 of them. Unmarked. A voice came from a speaker. Target confirmed. Eliminate. Lasers fired. Ava rolled to the side. The blast hit where she had been standing just seconds before. She ran behind cover. Breathing steady, calm, not scared. Not angry. Focus, the dance begins. One mech came from the left, firing stun rounds. Ava slid under its legs, jumped onto its back, and ripped off a sensor node. The machine turned in confusion. To slow, Ava leaped off, landing softly. She rolled just as the second mech shot a pulse cannon. She grabbed a sharp rock and jammed it into a vent under the third mech's arm. Steam burst, sparks flew. 3 mechs, 3 dodges. 3 counters. She was still standing. The hidden back up the mechs weren't alone. A sniper drone hovered above, cloaked. Ava didn't see it, but she felt it. Her body moved before her brain even finished the thought. She ducked. The sniper beam missed her head by half an inch. She picked up a broken sensor and threw it. Hard into the air, direct hit. The drone exploded. The extraction Ava activated her emergency beacon. The signal went out, and she already knew the ones who sent her here never expected to pick her up. Still, someone answered. A stealth ship appeared above. It wasn't the Academy's. Inside was Reth. It's the quiet alien cadet who once warned her. I knew they'd try something, said. Ava didn't speak. She sat in silence as the ship flew away, but her eyes burned cold. Back at Sector 9, Commander Vortok stared at the mission report. Mechanical failure, he said aloud. Poor Ava. The drones must have gone rogue. But his voice was flat. He knew she had survived, and that meant something worse than failure. She would come back stronger. In her room, Ava sat alone, wrapping the bruise on her leg. The pain didn't bother her. What bothered her was the truth. They had tried to kill her. Not test her, not teach, or kill her. She looked at the wall. A single sentence echoed in her mind. No, more mercy. They thought she was just a student. They thought she was a tool. They could break. But now she knew the truth. They were afraid, and soon they would learn what true fear felt like. After the ambush on Veltrax 4, Ava changed. Not on the outside, but deep inside her mind. Something was waking up. She didn't speak much when she returned, didn't report the truth, didn't accuse anyone. She just trained harder, faster, sharper. But this time, her movements were different. They were too perfect even for her. The lab watchers in the secret neural lab. Dr. Kaloran watched the new data with growing fear. This isn't normal, he said. The computer showed Ava's brain patterns during her last 3 missions. Her reaction time had dropped below 0.1 seconds. No species had ever reached that speed, even advanced. No. Longer predicting attacks, said the jelly-form Naren. She's moving before danger even happens. Kaloran's hands trembled. This isn't training, this is evolution. Flashbacks in the dark late at night, Ava began having strange dreams. A burning forest. A screaming child. Shadows chasing her in the dark. She would wake up sweating, fists clenched, muscles twitching. But she remembered nothing clearly. Only one feeling stayed. She had survived. Something before, something terrible, something that may explain what she had become. The DNA scan without permission. Kaloran ordered a genetic scan of Ava's DNA. Using leftover samples from her first training day, the results shocked him. Buried deep. In her cells was an ancient gene, a dormant human trait thought to be extinct. A gene that activated under extreme danger. It enhanced reflexes, pain control, awareness, and even short-range precognition. the ability to sense danger moments before it happens. He whispered to himself, "She's not the next soldier. She's the return of an old predator." The Void session back in the academy. Ava was sent into the Void chamber, a virtual test environment built to test focus under pressure. No gravity, no light, no sound, only danger simulations from all angles. Most cadets lasted 3 minutes before quitting. Ava stayed in for 30 minutes. When she came out, her body was calm, but her eyes had changed. No fear, no hesitation, only silence. Reth's warning that night. Ava sat alone on the rooftop, watching the stars. Reth joined her, his forearms folded across his chest. "They're scared of you," he said. Ava didn't answer. "They're watching every move now. They think you're becoming a threat." "I am," she said simply. Reth hesitated. "Then what will you do?" Ava looked at the stars, then whispered, "I'll stop holding back." Secret council meeting far away on the galactic core. The genetic council received the report on Ava's DNA. A voice echoed in the dark chamber. "Human subject Ava carries the prime reflex gene. Category: unstable. Verdict: terminate before activation reaches stage 3. Orders were signed. A. Black Ops team was dispatched. Target: Sector 9. Objective: erase the human. The training room incident next day. Ava entered the training room. She faced a 6-on-1 mock battle high-level alien. Cadets with stun weapons. But something happened. She didn't wait for them to attack. She moved first. One blink the first. Went down, spin elbow the second. Hit the ground. Duck strike. Leap 2 more. Followed in. Just 6 seconds. All 6 were on the floor. Groaning, Ava stood alone in the center. No weapons, no scratches, only silence. The watching eyes from the high control room. Commander Vortak watched the feed. Behind him, a black-armored alien officer from the council stepped into the room. "She's crossed the line," the officer said. Vortak nodded slowly. "Yes," he whispered, "but we don't control her anymore." The final line, something inside Ava, had fully awakened. Not machine, not mutation, something human, and something more than human. And now no one could stop what was coming next. The announcement shook the entire sector. The Galactic Reflex Tournament. The most dangerous competition in the galaxy was returning after 10 years. Only the fastest, sharpest, and most advanced fighters could enter. 3 to champions, 1 winner. No second chances. For centuries, no human had ever been invited until now. The name at the bottom of the list made every alien stare in silence. Entry 32. Ava species. Human reactions across the galaxy. Alien worlds laughed. She won't. Last one round, a human? That's a joke. But others remembered the stories, the reflex grid, the mech ambush, the 6-on-1 knockout, and they began to wonder what if the stories were true. The arrival Ava arrived at the tournament station. A giant rotating arena floating above a neutron star. Each fighter got their own quarters, their own trainer, their own sponsors. Ava had none. She entered quietly, alone, wearing her plain gray suit, while other fighters posed for cameras. Ava ignored them. Her mind was elsewhere, focused cold. Ready the first round, her first opponent was a Drakari blade dancer. Tall, forearmed, fast enough to cut a laser beam midair. The match began. He charged. Blades spinning. Ava stepped left. One move. One punch, knockout in 3.8 seconds. The audience didn't cheer, they stared. The second rounder. Next opponent was a twin-bodied insectoid from the gas fields of Quorra. It attacked from 2 sides at once. Ava moved like smoke. No wasted movement. One tap to the lower neck. The insectoid collapsed. For 1 second, the galaxy takes notice now. Everyone was watching her. Broadcasts reached over 90 systems. Commentators argued on every channel. She's reading their moves like books. She's not just fast, she's impossible. She's not human anymore. But Ava was still. Just Ava.com, precise, Silent, the semifinal. Only 4 fighters remained. Ava's next match was against Rektar, legendary champion who once fought 100 enemies at once. And won. His reflexes were AI enhanced. His armor was fused to his bones. Everyone said this was the end for Ava. The fight began. Rek-tar. Attacked with a combo of shock strikes, but Ava didn't dodge. She stepped into the attack path, the one place he didn't expect. She twisted, ducked, and with 2 fingers hit his spine node. 2 seconds, Rektar collapsed. He never saw it coming. The final match is set now. Galaxy held its breath. The final match was confirmed. Ava versus Zylkar. The insect king of reflex Icakar was undefeated. 8 limbs, 3 brains. Reflexes. It's measured faster than light-tracking drones. He had never been touched in a match, and now faced a human. Before the battle in her room, Ava stared at her hands. They were steady, strong. But inside she felt something stir. Not fear, not doubt, but clarity. This match wasn't just a fight. It was a message to every species that ever called humans. Slow, weak, primitive. This was her answer. The final arena of the stadium was packed. Billions watched across thousands of worlds. The referee drone hovered. The lights dimmed. 2 fighters stood in the center. Zylkar's eyes blinked in rapid patterns. I will crush your bones. Human, he said. Ava didn't reply. She simply raised her hands. And waited the final line. No one knew what was about to happen. But in less than 10 seconds, the galaxy would never forget her name. The crowd leaned forward. The entire galaxy was watching. Billions of beings, thousands of species, all staring at one small human and one undefeated champion in the center of the arena. Ava stood face to face with Zylkar, the insect king of reflex. He towered over her. 8 limbs, 3 brains, lightning-fast movements. He was the final boss. Ava, she was just still. The tension, the arena lights dimmed. A voice echoed through the chamber. Final round, reflex tournament. Ava of Earth. V's. Zylkar of Kravtal Prime. First clean hit decides the winner. The audience held their breath. Even the camera drones, adjusted for high-speed capture. They knew this would be fast, but not this fast. The battle begins. D&G. Zylkar launched forward. 4 limbs struck from the left, 2 from the right, 1 from above. 1. From behind, it was a move no one had ever escaped, but Ava. She didn't block, she didn't dodge, she stepped forward. Her foot moved just before his strike reached her. Her body twisted through the attack like she had seen it before, because she had, in her mind, before it even happened. In exactly 6 seconds, Ava spun under his limbs and tapped his chest. 1 clean strike. Perfect. Hit. Zylkar froze. The entire arena went silent. The drone stopped. The commentators said nothing. The universe paused. The shockwave then. The arena exploded in noise. Not from the audience, but from across the galaxy. Messages flooded every network. Did that just happen? The human one? She beat Zylkar with 1 move. Back in the control room, Commander Vortax stood up slowly. He whispered, "She did it." The Aftermath Scylla stepped back, breathing heavily. He looked at Ava, the small human who had just defeated him. Then, in front of everyone, the Insect King did something no one expected. He bowed, a slow, deep bow of respect. Ava nodded once, then turned and walked away. No celebration, no pride, just silence and strength. The galaxy reacts within hours. Our name was on every news screen in the galaxy. AVA, the fastest being in known space. Alien leaders requested interviews. Elite armies offered her contracts. Scientific teams begged for her DNA, but Ava stayed silent. She didn't want fame. She had already proven what she needed to prove. Back at Sector 9, when Ava returned to the academy, even the instructors stood aside. Cadets who once mocked her, now trained in silence. When she passed, one whispered, "That's not just a human. That's evolution itself." A quiet moment that night, Ava stood on the rooftop once more. The stars above her. Reth stood beside her. "They won't challenge you again," he said. "I didn't do it to impress them," Ava replied. "Then why?" "Looked at the stars. Because they said we were slow. Because they laughed at our species. Because they needed to know what humans are really capable of." The final line, they mocked her. They doubted her. They tried to break her. But in the end, she didn't just win. She silenced them all. And now, when the universe talks about reflexes, they talk about one name, Ava.